Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you enjoy ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. My cat is scratching on the wall. Come here. Okay, so today I'm doing a review of, this is Burberry Body Tender. So there's a fragrance called Burberry Body. It's been around for, let's see, Burberry Body has been around since 2011. And then this is a flanker to it. It's Burberry Body Tender. And this one was launched in 2013, so 2 years later. Now, I'm not actually sure if this is still being produced. It might be discontinued at this point. I didn't really look too deep into it, but it might be a little hard to come by. This fragrance has been in my collection for probably almost 3 years. Hi, sweetheart. But I'm actually letting it go now, and it's not because I don't like it. It's just because I have a few fragrances that are just way too similar to it. I'll touch on those fragrances later in the video, but just to show you right now, the ones that I have that I find very similar are Maisenser's Edition de Veronique and also Issey Miyake's Please Please L'Eau. So I'll touch on these two fragrances later in the video. I also have a sample of the original Burberry Body, so I'm honestly very excited to spray and smell this one because it's probably been at least 1.5 years or 2 that I've smelled this, so I honestly don't even remember what it smells like. Okay, Miss Girl. She's a little bit loud. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over the notes of Burberry Body Tender, and then we'll also smell the Burberry Body sample I have, and I'll also touch on those other 2 fragrances. I dressed on theme, as always, so I'm wearing this, honestly, this is like a perfect match, yeah. This like light, kind of dusty pink sweater dress. And then the reason I'm wearing this shawl, I know it's kind of like a blue-green, it's like a mint green, but I'm wearing it because this fragrance is sort of a slightly green aromatic rose fragrance, so I wanted to wear this to kind of show that there's like those aromatic green touches. And I wore these floral earrings. I think they're like rose or peony. So yeah, that is the look for today's video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray. I've got my Flower Fairy cards. This looks like, oof, I don't know what that flower is called, but I feel like I recognize it. Oh, my cat is back on the table. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray. And just let it fully dry down. So I will just say right off the bat, I really like this fragrance. I think for a designer fragrance, it smells fairly niche. It's not, your standard, like, just basic, vanilla floral, fruity floral, gourmand. It's not standard. It's definitely got a more niche twist to it, mainly because of the addition of some of those kind of green aromatic notes, which I'll touch on. Okay, so this is it's very delicate. It's very pretty, light, floral. It reminds me of like spring, and it's like fresh, crisp floral, mainly rose. I don't know if there's other florals in here, reminds me of spring, and like has the feel of like dewdrops on a rose in the spring. That sort of thing. Very delicate, tender. So tender is a good name for this flanker. So that's mainly what I get, and then there's also sort of like green touches to it, and I'll talk about what that is. So it just smells very natural. Really smells like, you know, a little photorealistic, like you were out in a rose garden. Maybe it had just rained and you're getting the smell of the roses and some other green foliage. That's really what it smells like to me. Very beautiful and subtle, so not like super in your face. I feel like this would be a great work scent, office scent, that sort of thing, especially if you don't overspray. Okay, so let's go ahead and touch on the notes for this fragrance. Okay, so for our top notes, we've got 4 top notes, and they are wormwood, apple, lemon, and peach. So wormwood is a green herb, a green plant. I believe it's also called artemisia, but I could be wrong on that. But I think it's the green herb that you find in absinthe, the alcohol absinthe. So it's got an herbally green sort of flavor and scent profile. And then we've got the apple, lemon, and peach. So I definitely get the wormwood, and I also very much get the apple, and to me it's very clearly a green apple, not a red apple. It's tart, it's fresh, it's juicy, it's hydrating and watery. I could see the lemon being in here as well, just adding a little bit of fresh crispness, but I really mostly get apple, and I don't pick up peach personally. So really I mostly get wormwood and apple in the top notes very clearly. Okay, and then in our middle notes, we've got 4 middle notes, and they are rose, tea, jasmine, and sandalwood. So it sounds like there is another floral in here, and it's jasmine. So I definitely get the rose, and it kind of feels like, you know, like a pink rose or a white rose. We'll say pink because it's a pink fragrance. I feel like maybe I get the tea. I don't know. I definitely just have like a green feel overall from this. Jasmine, I'm not picking up on specifically. And sandalwood, also not picking up on specifically. Okay, and then for our base notes, my cat is just going crazy. Okay, I know. I love you too. Okay, so for our base notes, we've got 4 base notes, and they are musk, cashmere wood, amber, and vanilla. So I'm getting a lot of musk. It makes it very soft. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, but she's like, she's being extra. So I'm getting a lot of musk. It makes it very soft and delicate and just a little more diffuse and soft texture. Maybe I could say that I'm getting some cashmere wood for the same reason, like just gives it a bit of a fluffy, sort of slightly ambery, woody vibe. I'm not picking up on vanilla or amber, not in an obvious way. So to recap, what I mostly get from this fragrance is rose, apple, wormwood, and musk. Maybe little touches of lemon and tea. That's really what I get. Very fresh, soft, slightly aromatic, dewy, very beautiful, delicate. I'm going to show the votes on Fragrantica and let you know what other people say they are smelling most. They say they are smelling most the wormwood, the rose, the apple, lemon, tea, musk, cashmere wood, etc. So everybody agrees with me on the main notes. I would not say, well, I don't know, I was going to say I would not say I get wormwood first, but you definitely get it. It's different. it's a different note. It's probably what makes this fragrance not necessarily mass appealing, or like I said, smells a little more niche and not your typical designer fragrance. But I really like that, and so I think it makes it unique and just a little more sophisticated. But yeah, it's like a green rose fragrance. And there's that green apple too. So yeah, green rose. Okay, so those are the notes for this fragrance. I'm going to go over some other info related to this that we have on Fragrantica. But first, I'm really excited to go ahead and spray and smell this Burberry body sample that like I said, I probably haven't smelled in like 2 years. I honestly don't remember what it smells like. So here is the Bluebell Fairy. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray. Just let it dry down. I know that this is supposed to be a little bit more, I think, of a skin scent. I believe, like, you know, subtle, kind of sexy. I'm thinking maybe musky or ambery, but I don't remember any of the notes. I think there might be a coffee note, though, and I assume musk. But yeah, let's give it a smell. Oh, this is so nice. Oh gosh, this is so nice. This smells like a quasi-gourmand in the sense of like it's powdery, it's musky, powdery, subtle, but it feels slightly gourmand. Like there must be either like a chocolate note or coffee note, something in there for sure. Oh, this is so pretty. I might need to buy a bottle of this. I'm not joking. Okay, but it's very subtle. It's subtle. I feel like this is the sort of scent that you could spray quite a bit and it wouldn't be too strong. Okay, so, oh, how interesting. Okay, so apparently this fragrance also has wormwood. I did not realize. But anyway, this fragrance has fairly similar notes to the Burberry Body Tender. Like, fairly similar. It has top notes of peach, wormwood, and freesia, middle notes of rose, iris, and sandalwood, and a base of musk, cashmere wood, vanilla, and amber. The vanilla really comes through in a, like, almost like a chocolatey, boozy way. I'm really shocked that there's no, like, chocolate or coffee note in here. It might be just whatever the wormwood is doing in the mix might be giving me that impression. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's this one. I'm getting more of the base notes for sure. And a little bit of that Artemisia. Very pretty, very soft, kind of hard to describe. And like I said, almost feels like quasi-gourmand. Must be from the vanilla. Sort of quasi-gourmand in the way that Prada candy is, because this has caramel and vanilla, but it's got so much powderiness to it that it doesn't actually smell edible. And I would say sort of the same about this. It's very powdery musky, so it doesn't actually really smell edible, if that makes sense. Okay, so I really like this. I might keep my eyes out for like a 1 ounce bottle of it because I really enjoy it. Okay, and then I'm gonna just briefly touch on the other fragrances that I have that smell very similar to Burberry Body Tender. So this is Please Low by Issey Miyake. It's a flanker. There's a fragrance called Please, and this is the Please Low flanker. It's funny that they don't say that. They don't say it on the bottle, but it is. It's the low edition. It's green. The other, just the Please, I think is like pink. So this is another very fresh green rose. What is in this fragrance that makes it smell green, though, to me, is the neroli. So there's quite a hefty dose of neroli, which is orange blossom, but orange blossom that to me comes through in a very like green, kind of sharp, fresh way. So this smells hyper clean, hyper fresh. All three of these green rose scents to me come off cool tone, like fresh, a little bit chilling, cooling sort of vibe, and this one is no exception. So yeah, lots of rose, neroli, which gives it a very like clean, fresh scent. Lots of musk as well, again, very clean. Then there's cedar, pink pepper, and patchouli. But I mostly get rose, neroli, and musk. So yeah, this one's really nice, very fresh, similar to Burberry Body Tender, but it does not have that wormwood note, which does have its own unique herbally smell. Okay, then we have Mise en Cier's beautiful bottle, Mise en Cier's Edition de Veronique. This is another rose fragrance, very delicate, very clean, soapy rose. What makes this fragrance green, and again kind of fresh and cool tone, is juniper. So juniper is an evergreen tree. So pretty. Juniper is the note, is the, what alcohol is juniper in? I don't remember. But it's in one of those common hard alcohols, juniper. So yeah, rose, juniper, bunch of musk, iris, jasmine, and amberwood is what's in Edition de Veronique. Very pretty, light, cool tone, almost watery type of effect. All of these kind of have like a dewy, watery, soapy, fresh springtime smell to me. So I got this one recently because I just had a sample and I loved the smell so much, and I won't lie, I'm a sucker for these Mise en Cier bottles. This is my second Mise en Cier fragrance, and this bottle's a little bit damaged from the previous seller, but it's still so pretty. It's such a pretty bottle. And then I realized that it smells fairly similar to these two, so I'm gonna pass on the Burberry Body Tender, and at some point I might pass on Please Low as well, but we'll see for now. Okay, so honestly, I love all three of those fragrances. I would recommend all three of those if you feel like that is your sort of scent profile. So back to Burberry Body Tender, let's just finish up with a few statistics on this fragrance. So this was launched in 2013, so it's going on 12 years old. Crazy. On Fragrantica, it has a rating of 3.96 out of 5 with 2,261 votes. So that's a really good rating, especially for such a light, fresh fragrance, because I noticed that typically those type of fragrances do not get rated as highly on Fragrantica. What else? Let's read some pros and cons that Fragrantica says. I don't know, but I assume these pros and cons are compiled by AI. Let me know if you know. But I assume that they have AI read through all the reviews and compile the pros and cons. That's just my thought, but who knows. Pros, it says fresh and clean scent, beautiful rose note that doesn't feel artificial. I agree. Soft and textured fragrance with good longevity for an EDT. I agree. Luxurious air freshener that receives many compliments. Suitable for those who prefer musky fragrances. Okay, for cons, it says screechy and overpowering freshness on some skin types. I could see that, but I really do not like overly screechy fragrances, or what I interpret to be those, and this is not that for me, but it's definitely fresh. Okay, becomes a light powdery skin scent with low projection and short longevity on some skin types. Yes, it is called tender for a reason. dominant rose note that may not suit everyone's taste. Well, yeah, if you don't like rose, for sure. Bitter, citrusy rose that may not feel elegant or sexy. It is a bit bitter. I think the Artemisia, the wormwood, gives it a little bit of a bitter twist. And then that green apple note, just a touch sour. So, but I like that. There's so many sweet fragrances and overly sweet fragrances that I really appreciate. Ones that, you know, maybe are a little bit less sweet or bitter or sour. I can really appreciate that. Okay, to finish up, I'm just going to read a few reviews. I see there's another flanker. There's Burberry Body Eau de Toilette. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, somebody says a beautiful, soft, tender, gorgeous fragrance that's long-lasting, versatile, and budget-friendly-ish. I loved wearing it and finished the bottle very quickly. Somebody else says the Chanel Chance Au Tendre of Burberry. She's soft, pretty, and different from what's on the market. You might want to seek out older bottles because most of Burberry's formulas have changed over time. Totally agree. This is the Chanel Chance Au Tendre of Burberry. More like that, you know, pink, tender, soft version. Okay, somebody says it smells really nice. It's fresh, soft, and not too sweet. Performance is pretty bad. Let's find somebody who doesn't like it and see what they say. They say, too sour for my liking. I really wanted to love it. Like, I like the original Burberry body, but this is too much for everyday use. I was hoping this flanker would be lighter and rosier than the original, but sadly it's loud, sour, and stays that way for way too long. The only saving grace is its dry down, lovely vanilla / musk smell, but after a long time, 6 to 8 hours or at least, it's too faint for a skin scent. Unstable, at least for me, I'm afraid. Sorry, I'm not reading well today. Okay, so yeah, they were just saying it's kind of sour. I agree. It's, I wouldn't say like straight up sour, but it's leaning that way in a way that I enjoy. Okay, everybody, so that's my review of Burberry's Body Tender. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sending you all peace, love, beauty, and harmony. And I'll catch you all again soon. Okay, bye.